start?
No.
Hello, Mr. Lay. My name is Max Resnick.
My name's Adam, and today we're going to present to you a draft of ideas as to why Tim Hortons should expand their company internationally and overseas into Russian soil.
Throughout the past century, investors have discovered that the Russian business market brings a lot of opportunity for profit. Russia ranks as the largest market in Europe with 142 million people. Russia ranks among the top 3 profit markets in the world, and the return on equity in Russia across some sectors in 2012, including chemicals. Okay, restart. This is terrible.
Why?
Because I'm going way too fast. It's like I have to chill out.
Okay, last time.
Okay. I'll start at 30. Hello, Mr. Lay. My name is Max.
My name's Adam. And today we're going to present to you a draft of ideas as to why Tim Hortons should expand their franchise and open up stores overseas in the land of Russia.
Throughout the past century, investors have discovered that Russian business market brings lots of opportunity for profit. Russia ranks as the largest market in Europe, with 142 million people. Russia ranks among the top 3 profit markets in the world, and the return on equity in Russia across some sectors in 2012, including chemicals, metals, and transportation, exceeds that in Europe by roughly 70%. Based on the threshold of $15,000 annual household income as a standard for defining the middle class in emerging countries, in Russia, 55% of households are middle class, whereas the figure in the most populated countries across the globe include China and India go up to 21% and 11%. What's more, wealthy households are more predominant in Russia compared with other BRIC countries, with 15% having incomes of more than $50,000. In China, it is a mere 2%, while it is barely 1% in India.
The Russian coffee market today has its roots in the Soviet era and is influenced by how consumers drink tea. It has also been deeply influenced by the appearance of a new kid on the block called gourmet coffee served at home, in coffee shops, and other venues. Russians, on average, drink around 4 or so cups of tea each day. They customarily make coffee the way they make tea, and one reason why instant coffee is so popular across the Russian land. This means that Tim Hortons will already have a good target market of possible consumers in Russia. Tim's can capitalize on the demand for tea and expand their products offered, such as focus more on tea rather than coffee as they do in Canada. Their drive-through option can also be crucial to their success and eliminate the need for instant coffee machines that a bunch of consumers are purchasing around Russia.
Another upward business-related trend revolves around customer service. Customer service in Russia has been dialed up in many ways. The woman who ran human resources for the World Cup explained how 20,000 volunteers had been trained in customer service, along with all the concession employees at the stadiums. Those employees will retain at least some of that training in the years to come, setting higher standards for customer service that previously were expected. An international event so large such as the World Cup allowed the country to implement a stronger focus on common business tactics such as customer service techniques that are fundamental to run a successful customer service ran business such as Tim Hortons.
Although Russia provides lots of credible businessmen, their post-secondary education system is lacking compared to other countries, especially North American ones. There are lots of problems created by the lacking education system. The top students from across Russia go to the top universities in Moscow, and now increasingly to top schools around the world. Professors from multiple Russian universities have even commented and mentioned that the country's second-tier universities were much weaker than in other countries, such as the USA and Canada. This could benefit Tim Hortons as well. If the education system fails to deliver decent learning opportunities, there could be many more Russian citizens looking to apply for easy jobs such as working at a Tim Hortons, rather than attempting to run their own successful coffee shop. The levels of immigration rates around Russia are now starting to climb again after a decent downfall in the recent couple of decades. This means that more and more people are entering Russia's territories and have no previous knowledge about past Russian coffee shops, and they can invest more time and money into Tim Hortons. For example, these 2 successful businessmen from Canada can now purchase more Tim Hortons stocks and watch as their money grows through equity owned in Tim Hortons. The more consumers in Russia, the more profit that they will make.
Overall, expanding Tim Hortons to Russia and opening many restaurants across the country can impact both the franchise and the country significantly.
In a positive way. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
And we hope that you learned a lot.